or even below $60 in the next couple months as well. We got a lot of news and updates regarding Quant, including an interview and conference with the CEO and founder of Quant, an interview with the CEO and founder, and also a really, let's say, important explanation, in my opinion, on what Quant is all about, what problems they're solving, and why this is such a good long-term play. Now, with that being said, we're also going to be going through my price prediction. I'll be telling you on how I think the price will develop in the coming days, weeks, and also throughout this bear market, so you guys can get an idea on how Quant could possibly play out. Remember, nothing's financial advice. Do your own research, and if you're new around here, subscribe and hit the bell. Now, at the current market state, we are looking at we're basically gonna have a deep bear market, a really long bear market, understandably so. Of course, USDT has been depegged about 3 times this week, not the best of things to happen. Ethereum has gone down by 7%. Now, this is amid a hack that happened to the FTX platform from a hacker. He's been selling off the Ethereum, and we're seeing huge dips in the whole market. There's obviously a lot of fear in the market, right? A lot of fear, and that's understandably so. And Quant is obviously being affected from that price. I'm going to quickly delete my drawings, but pretty much this is my price prediction and how I think the price will develop. So in my last video, I called it right here that we're going to see some new lows in this month and the next coming months, and I still believe that. I can see the price of Quant going below $80 in the next couple months, or even below $60 in the next couple months as well, depending on how the fear develops. The fear right now is at an all-time high, and of course, if this continues, there's no reason for people to keep holding any assets, right? People exiting all markets, not even Quant, not just crypto, all market stocks, any other asset markets, they are selling off simply because of the fear in the market. Of course, this is the best time to actually dollar cost average. Now, I wouldn't say right now. I do think in the next month or so, as apparently according to some analysts on Twitter, we're going to see some more drops, and this is why I'm actually calling it. I've also done my research, and it does add up. I can see it going below the $80 mark, $75 mark, and yeah, this might be completely wrong, which is why dollar cost averaging is the best way to go about it. Simply putting your money into some coins that you believe in at a certain point. Usually what I do is buy in the red candles. So here, even maybe tomorrow, if we see a red candle, buy then. Here, you guys get the idea. Red candles, when there's big sell-offs any day, you basically dollar cost average. But yes, again, I can see a huge sell-off and see a dump, and Quant going below the $60 to $70 mark in the coming months. I can easily see it happening, but of course it might also be a more longer approach to it, depending on how long this bear market is. But yeah, the next couple of months are going to be pivotal on what the price of Quant does end up being. Now, there was this article on the Quant wallet holders reaching more than 90,000. Now, I touched on it at the end of my last video, but I think it's fair I talk about it a bit more. This is massive, right? As you know, the inability and the sort of growth can be seen by simply the amount of users actually using a network or a blockchain. And in this case, it's over 90,000 people that are holding Quant. And that is, so more than Quant wallet holders have got more than 90,000 people. So it's a good time to buy QNT. Again, I gave you my reasoning, I gave you my thoughts on it. So you can see here, 30-day losses to just 44%. At the time of writing, the digital asset is changing hands on $115. We're going to keep on seeing this. I am so sure of it. And also, you can see here in my video, in the start of November, I was talking about here. I called this, right? I mean, I didn't really call it. It was pretty self-explanatory, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. A lot of people were talking about it. So initially, in my first Quant video in this channel, it was around here at the start of November. And yeah, we all saw what happened afterwards. I'm not gonna lie, I did see it coming. A lot of us saw it coming. A lot of you guys, called me a clown, saying, you're completely bearish about Quant. But I'm actually bullish in the long term. In the long term, I am super bullish about Quant, and I believe it's one of the safest plays to make solid gains in this crypto market, especially with the fact this is such a well-connected coin. Now, if you do not know what Quant is all about, let me just quickly play this video. This is a great explanation. I'm gonna quickly play it now for you lot.
Quant connects all of the world's distributed ledgers for faster, more efficient growth and brings interoperability to DLTs. Overledger is the enterprise platform for blockchains and other DLTs. And Quant is leading the connectivity revolution.
Right then, so that's basically the explanation of what Quant is all about, what problems they are solving, and this is actually a conference that the founder and CEO of Quant, Gilbert, actually attended. I'm gonna quickly play this too, so you guys can see what he basically the view on what Quant is solving, what problems are they solving in the everyday financial life, in the financial system, what they're actually bringing to the table.
You know, it is a bit of a cliche, but you have to have a solution to a problem that people have. There's no point creating a decentralization, something that no one's going to use, and the only thing that happens is some gambling application gets built on it. You know, that does not help people. You need to identify what's the human problem you're solving in banking, in financial services, in non-banking, and the good news is you partner with the biggest players and they will listen to you. So for the first time, startups actually have a say in helping big corporates like the Amexes and IBMs of the world to solve that problem together, because they recognize the agility and the innovation that startups bring, and this ecosystem is just built overnight. You know, you're seeing this every day. Fintech is one of the biggest sectors around the world, and it's only going to grow.
Now regarding this video, first of all, the first point that Gilbert did bring up is the fact that there's no point of building a blockchain if the only use of it is for irrelevant things, if people are not going to use it, if they use it for things like gambling, just things that are not really built for the financial system, right? So a lot of these layer ones, a lot of these blockchains are built, of course, for payment infrastructure, for making payments. You know, we have Solana, 100,000 TPS. Now, don't get me wrong, coins like Solana, I really do believe in. I hope they do great, actually. Recently, there's been a lot of bearish news. I think they will do well. The community and the people holding it's just too many people. It's too strong of a presence in the crypto space. However, you know, things like these make sense in the long term. Right now, Solana, the only use there is that people are using it for is obviously for NFTs. Now, of course, in the future, we're hearing things about gaming, but 100,000 TPS at the moment, they're nowhere near of pulling that off. And I don't think they will anytime soon, right? So with that being said, right, the real thing that Quant is going for here is something that people will actually use. And a payment infrastructure connecting different gateways, different ledgers, this is exactly what people need, right, in the financial system. It's something that people are actually going to use, is a problem worth solving as people actually going to use it. So with that being said, Solana, right, look, I'm like Solana, there's Aptos, there is so many blockchains, Cardano, the list just keeps going on. There's a lot of these layer ones that in my opinion are great, but there's a lot of them as well that are just naming things, right? There is no sort of uniqueness to them. They're not niche specific, they're not specific on one thing, they're just a bit of this, bit of that. It just doesn't add up to me. And when you have a clear sort of path, a clear roadmap, clear exactly on what you want to do, what problems you're trying to solve, as clear as that, it's just perfect. Now, second of all, he did also bring up the fact that startups now are getting the opportunity to work with some big companies, corporate companies, not only because the big corporate companies are seeing the value in working with these smaller startups, but also because the value these smaller startups bring. And this is actually something I realized as well, not just in the crypto space, but just in general, right? But in the crypto space recently has been more notable, where you see startups, right, getting valued at insanely high prices, and they get to work with some pretty big companies, really big. He obviously brought up Amex. There's a lot of companies out there recently that we see working with smaller startups, and this is also another interview with the CEO and Quant founder.
You're a developer, you register as your organization, then you provide your Quant token as part of your registration. So everyone who wants to develop, including enterprise, needs to hold Quant tokens. If you don't hold them, you can't develop anything. And then if you can't develop anything, you can't publish anything. So you can't do anything without the tokens. There's security encryption keys that give you access. So if you think of Apple, as you mentioned, or Google, you've got your Gmail account or your Apple ID. It's a similar thing. Everyone's going to have a Quant ID. And some people have said, oh, why did you build keys? You just should give them a license. And it doesn't work that way. From a security perspective, you need to have authentication and authorization. And the way to do that is through encryption and keys.
Right then, so again, this is an example on the reason of Quant actually being built. But yeah, let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what you thought about all these interviews with Gilbert and all these tweets that I did go through, and also my price prediction. Where do you think Quant will end up in the end of this year and Q1 of 2023? Let me know down below. If you're new to the Crypto Maxi channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Other than that, peace.